Welcome back, y'all. Another early morning out here. It's about, well, I say it's early. It's not that early. 6:38. We are fixing to head down to Thomasville, North Carolina, down to my buddy Johnny Sharks. They are the owners of Rocky Ridge Hog Farm, and not only are they a hog farm, they have a sawmill and saw lumber as well. So I've got the sideboards taken off of the dump truck here and this trailer hooked up. We're planning on coming back up the road this evening with a pretty big pile of lumber. Hopefully enough lumber to finish siding in the barn, and then my daddy is going with us too. We've got to go run down and pick him up. We're getting a little bit of lumber for him to fix a barn shelter that fell during the snow. So, anyways, I hope y'all enjoy. Come along with us. I hope you enjoy watching that old sawmill run, because it's one of the old school type sawmills, the circle mills. I find those very fascinating. They are those saws will get her done. And anyways, I hope you enjoy it. I have no idea how much I'm actually going to be able to film, because we are literally going down and we're going to be working the whole time we're there. So I'll try to film as much as I can and bring y'all along with us. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you when we get there.
Well, morning, y'all. Me and Miss Maggie Moo are out and about. She's already fed her kitty cats and letting the chickens out, got my feed ready. I'm running a little behind. I could not get my life together this morning. Getting Andy and Jacob out the door early kind of put me a little behind. That's all right. Candy's pretty chill. She don't much care. But we're heading down to milk this morning. Here she's coming. Come on, Candy girl. She's kind of mad because her calf is on the other side of that white wire, but she'll be all right. Come on, Candy girl. But we got to get to milking this morning. I'm going to be making some butter today and some soft kind of cream cheese. Kind of, not full cream cheese, but that's my plan for today while the boys are off sawmilling. And me and Maggie have some other little things we're going to get into, but it probably won't make it to video. But look at my girl cooperate.
My Candy. Hi, come on.
Once you get these cows on routine, it makes life so much easier. You heard me and Andy talk about the best decision we ever made was making this stanchion stationary. That's one reason, because she comes to the same place pretty much the same time every single day. She knows what to do. Come on, girlfriend. Come on. I don't think you got no food in there yet, but I'll get to you in a minute. I'll get to you in a minute, girl.
Can I give her a scoop of homemade food?
Yeah, don't give her a full scoop, give her just a little taste there.
Okay.
Till I get the horses fed.
Okay.
You feed Lovey?
Yeah.
Okay.
It took him a minute to come up there.
Thank you. Alright. You're gonna get the horses food.
Alright.
Andy, I appreciate your patience.
Her favorite food. Maybe because she hadn't had some in a while.
Maybe. Good girl.
Good girl, Candy.
Good girl.
I need to bring my truck over here.
Alright, let's bring it a little bit this way. A little bit. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good job.
I can tell when her udders are definitely full. It's really squirting on her hook.
Alright.
The front one, I don't know.
Alright, girl.
Tell me when you start looking for some sweet feet. Okay?
Okay. It just cracks me up because, I mean, it's just pouring out.
Yeah.
Not too dirty. Good girl. So, a lot of people ask about this bar that you see me put on Candy's hips. That's a kick bar. That's all it does is put pressure on a tendon that's right here under that leg, right here under her leg. Cows kick sideways and not backwards like a horse. They kick out to exactly where I'm sitting at. She has not offered to kick now in a while, but without Andy being here, this is just a safety precaution for my peace of mind in case something were to happen. I know that she's not able to kick, at least quickly anyway. Easy, easy. Give her a little more homemade food.
Alright.
Just a little, just like a handful. Get something all. She's a good cow. Good job, girl. Alright. Her favorite thing is sweet feed and alfalfa pellets, so she gets a little of that when we start milking. Alright. That's what she is patiently waiting for, ain't it, Maggie?
Mm-hmm. If I go right after I start.
I don't think it's too full.
Yeah,
I think he's had his breakfast.
Yeah, but
Alright, you
just put
ready?
a little bit more milk in there.
Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, stick my leg. So, Miss Maggie Moo has been practicing milking in the mornings too. Candy's very patient and does good for her. I milk the back too, and I let Maggie milk the front. That one's the easiest one to get to without being all up in the back legs. So, it definitely takes some muscles, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something people don't realize is the muscles and the hand muscles and arm muscles it takes that you have to build up. Because I'm pretty sure it's muscles you don't use for anything else. Good job. You tell me when you're ready for me, okay?
Alright.
She's just trying to get the food out of the corner of the trough. Listen to that bird.
I know, it doesn't sound pretty.
Yep, I believe it's about, that's about it, ain't it?
Yeah, the calf definitely don't beat us.
Done had his breakfast. It's because we was late this morning.
Yeah.
That's all right. We still got enough.
Yeah, definitely. Look at all that.
I believe you've about got it, baby. Yep. Alright, if you want to give her the rest of her sweet feed, I'm going to finish this up here. You did good. So these last few squirts, I want to make sure I'm getting, number one, we don't want any milk left in the udders that the calf's not really drinking off of. Cause mastitis. Number 2, all the hind milk, that's your cream. So, you just get that front milk, you're not going to really have much cream. You get them last few squirts.
Yeah, I think the calf done has breakfast.
But you can see how to know when they're about empty. You can feel it most definitely, but see, there's nothing much, no pressure. So that's about the gist of it there. Okay, then the last thing I do is put her on some udder balm. The worst thing can happen is these get dry and cracked from the calf and from me milking. Then she's really not going to want to be milked because they're going to be sore. So, and she only has 3, as you can see there. The 4th one over there never has worked ever since I've had her. So, sometimes they just have a dead quarter like that. That's okay. She makes up for it. Then, we take this stuff called Fight Back. It's aerosol chlorhexidine pretty much. A lot of people that calf share don't bother with this step, but I always do. That stuff is a godsend. Alright, girl. You did a fine job, ma'am. Good job, girl. Good job.
I'm setting my spot.
And I have yet to find the treats that she likes. I guess trash supply don't carry them anymore. I've tried alfalfa cubes. All the other cows love them. She does not care for them. I'm sorry, did that tickle? She don't care for them though. She don't like them. And I've tried some other things. She don't like the horse treats. I thought she liked them, and she ate a few of them, and then she decided she didn't like them. So I guess I'm gonna look online on Chewy or something and see if I can find them treats she likes to do. Because she always looks for them when she backs out, because that's usually our routine, is when she backs out, she gets a treat, because she does a good job. But that sweet feed's a treat too. None of the rest of them get sweet feed, only her. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? So usually what I've been doing the last few mornings while she's finishing up eating, since she has been behaving so well, I just let her finish eating. I'll go pour the milk, and I'll come back down here and put her back in the pasture. Now, in those first few days, when she was not behaving and she was in a bad mood and forgot what we were supposed to be doing, I stood right here with her head locked. When she got done eating, she had to stand in here still, not be pulling back to try to get out and such. She had to stand in here still before I'd ever unlock her head from that. And that just teaches a little patience and respect. But she's doing fine now. She just had to remember what we do. And as you see, she don't have her, she ain't got her halter on anymore either, so. I've been getting about a gallon to a gallon and a half a day. So of course, we can't drink a gallon and a half of milk every single day. Now we put a pretty good dent in it, but I like to also make things with the milk, like butter, make a lot of butter. And so far I've made mozzarella and some farmer's cheese with it. And this will be my first soft cream cheese this year. I made some, I don't know if I made any last year. I know I made some like year before last. Last year some things got wonky with my milking schedule. So I didn't have as much milk to deal with as I normally do. So I like to do things different. I like to make dairy products. One thing on my list this year too is to fine-tune making yogurt. That's a different story for a different day. But I'm just warming up my milk slowly. I want about 85 degrees, and then it's just going to sit here for a while. Ooh. So, I'm going to get this milk poured in the fridge so I can go back down there and put her in the pasture. But I found that if I wait and let this milk start cooling off, she has so much butter fat in her milk that it starts stopping up this coffee filter. So I need to pour it as soon as I get it to make my life a whole lot easier. So for our soft kind of cream cheese, we need to get our milk up to 178, 180. And so I've done that now, and now we need roughly about 3 tablespoons of vinegar. I'm gonna get that combined in there. And you can see the curds starting to separate. See it sticking to my spoon. So it's set about 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna pour it into this bowl with this cloth over it. So this leftover here actually makes really good fertilizer. I've been pouring it out there on Maggie's flowers. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to bring this over and just let this drain for the next at least 4 hours or so. There we go. I'll let that hang out there and kind of drain into that bowl so I can catch all that goodness there. And so, since I can definitely tell I've got some not the best separation in that way, I could have done 2 things. I should have added more vinegar. I didn't. But I could also turn this into ricotta cheese. And I may do that later. It probably won't make it to this video, but I might do that.
that chain's carrying the sawdust out of there.
its way on later on in the afternoon. And I've just let it kind of hang out and do its thing today. Alright. So like I said, I anticipated this being a very soft cream cheese. And that's what I have got here. Not quite as tangy as store-bought cream cheese. But that's just because of the method that I chose to use to make it. Yay. So I can add salt to it and whip it up, which is probably what I'm gonna do. And just store it in an airtight container. It'll keep for a few days in the fridge. But of course you want to use it up pretty quick, just like with anything fresh. Finally getting around to making some butter. Andy just called and said they're on their way home, that they're done for the day. So trying to get some supper going, but like I said, we need to get this butter made. So this morning while I was waiting on my coffee to brew, I went ahead, I scraped a couple of gallons of milk, and that gave me about a quart of cream. Now, I don't get a ton of cream because I am sharing with the calf, and mama cows have a way of holding their cream for their babies. So I don't get a ton, but I want to show you here, if you're not familiar with fresh milk, how that does. It separates itself. So you have heavy cream on top and skim milk on the bottom. So this is the heavy cream. Now I do find that letting this cream sit out at room temperature till I'm ready to use it gives me the best result with my butter. It makes it break faster. I don't know, I just like the way that it does when I let it come to at least room temperature. Now this has been sitting out all day long. Not going to hurt anything. It'll, if nothing else, it may give it a little more flavor sitting out that long. But I at least like to get it out and let it sit out for at least 30 minutes. If not, if it's super cold straight out the fridge, I've found that you'll churn, and eventually, finally, it'll turn into butter, but it takes it a while. So, if you've not seen me do this before, I make my butter in my food processor. I don't churn it or anything like that. We're going to have butter here in 5 minutes or less, believe it or not. And I always think, what in the world would our ancestors say, being able to make butter in 5 minutes and not having to churn it? So this is a 9-cup Ninja food processor. I've had this thing for years, many years. You can still find them on Amazon. I've got them listed on our favorites over on the website if you want to look through that stuff, but because I get tons of questions about this food processor. But it's been a good one. If it quits when I get done with this butter, not right now, don't quit right now. If it quits when I get done with this butter, it's been a good one. So let's pour out our cream. You can kind of see that's pretty thick. That's okay. But I will tell you, only fill up your food processor about halfway when you're making butter. If not, it's going to start coming out around the little edges and trying to come out the top. Yeah, it happens. So, stick my lid on, cut it on. Actually, it would help if I plugged it in first. We're going to cut it on. And I use the puree function on mine. I don't know how some of the other ones are, if they all have that function, but that's what I use on mine because my chop, it pulses. That doesn't do great. Puree works the best, and it's on a timer. I don't know, probably 60 or 90 seconds. But here we go. Our lid off and see. Oh, look at there, butter. There it is. So I've got a bowl of ice water here. This is the way that I like to do it. Some people go straight from here to the sink. I like to let it sit in the ice water for a few minutes to kind of cool it, cool it off and make it not so melty, especially where the cream was warm when I did this. Now, I'm going to gently squeeze it a little bit and try to get some of that milk out of it. Into my ice water. And what we have left over here is some excellent buttermilk for cooking. The next thing we want to do is take our butter after it's cooled off some. And I'm going to rinse it under this water. Now, where this is a grease, of course, the water kind of separates from it, but it helps wash out some of that extra buttermilk. If you leave too much milk in there, your butter will try to sour on you. So I do salted butter always. Personal preference. I'm going to work that in. See the milk coming out of it? It's really hard to get that all the way clear, but just do the best you can. Now I got my little pan here, my little stainless steel pan. Kind of throw it down. And that helps get some more of that milk out of it, doing that right there. But you can see it's getting soft and melty. So then I shape it. I have a butter mold. I just prefer to do it this way. One of them things, it's all in what you want to do. I like to make them kind of a long, flat rectangle. It fits in my freezer better because I freeze a lot of butter. So I have fresh butter as long as I can, even when I'm not milking. And y'all, butter is just that simple. So if you don't have a milk cow or access to fresh milk, of course you could buy heavy whipping cream and do the exact same thing I just showed you, and you'll end up with your own butter at home. And I do wrap this in parchment paper, and after it chills in the fridge, I'll let it chill overnight. After it chills, I'll wrap it in parchment paper and either keep it in the fridge. Sometimes I put it in my cute little butter bell when I freeze it. Again, wrapped in parchment paper. I set it in the freezer so it can freeze separately, and then I put it in a freezer bag with the rest of my frozen butter. And that's just the process that seems to work best for me. You made it back.
I made it back. Left in the dark, or pretty much in the dark, and home pretty much in the dark. I tell you what.
Well, I left everything for you to feed, and I ain't fixed no supper, and...
Well, I mean, I guess I'll go do it if that's what I need to do.
Just pick.
Look, I know why Johnny's so skinny now.
You figured it out.
That's the highest strung man I've ever seen in my life. And he worked all day. But they was wide open when we got there.
Right.
Stopped, I don't know, sometime around 10:30 or 11 and ate a pack and a half. And that didn't last long. And then we stopped at about 1 o'clock and ate lunch. And that lasted just long enough to eat. And back at it. And he's been wide open. Well, we just was hammered down all day long.
Done.
But it's done. Everything's solved, but I got to go back and get some. This ain't all of it. So I'll show you the lumber right quick. All of what you see on the bottom half of that trailer belongs to Daddy. All of the 2x, the 2x6s and 2x8s. That all was going to his barn shelter that he had that fell. And then all the 1-inch stuff up is ours. This is all ours. And then we have 2 more stacks that are bigger than these 2 stacks. See, there's 2 stacks here. We got 1 4-foot stack and then another 4-foot stack over there. But we've got 2 more of those that are packed even higher than those that I got to go back and get sometime or another. But it just got to the point where I think weight-wise I'd have been fine, but it was going to put the lumber up so high that I was just kind of scared that it would be unstable, and I didn't want all that lumber to shift one way or the other.
Just asking for trouble.
And I have had that bed, if you get some really high-centered loads in it, that bed will try to twist when you go around a curve. So I just figured instead of chancing it,
Better safe than sorry.
I would go back and get it. So we got a couple of chances of rain coming up in the next week. I think I'll go back down there then and get it. But I don't know. I'm tickled it's done, though. I got to undo these straps because I got some of them pulled down. And I don't want it to start drying that way, because if it does, it'll take that shape and it'll stay that way.
Yep.
And then we got a little bit right here. Whenever we unload this, I need to sticker this so it'll get air in between it. We just didn't do it down there.
It's done.
The other two packs of lumber that's going on the truck, they're all stickered and they're good.
That means these little tiny ones in between, so
Yes.
air can get between it.
Yes,
In case you don't know what a sticker is.
that allows air to go through this, and this is green lumber, meaning it came from a green log. And what that means, what would happen is if I left this like this, it'll mold in between them. It'll actually, I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. Well, it might over the long term, but appearance-wise, it looks terrible because you'll get mold all in between the boards.
You'll probably never be able to get that off.
And you won't get it off, and especially considering this is siding lumber, I don't want mold on the boards.
Yeah.
But this allows air to go through it and everything's going to dry. This is poplar lumber. Daddy's is all cut out of pine, but everything that we got for ourselves today is cut out of poplar. And it's absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure. Honestly, the lighting out here doesn't really do it justice. There's some absolutely beautiful boards that's in this, and I cannot wait to start putting this up on the side of the barn because it's going to be just beautiful.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's like it almost makes me want to cry thinking about how pretty it's going to be.
You know, now we're gonna have a new barn
That looks old.
with the old look, with the board and batten siding, and you know, I'm like you. It's gonna be beautiful.
Now, the bad thing is somebody's got to put all these boards up.
Who's gonna do that?
I don't know. I might have to hire Johnny to come up here and do that for me too. Now I'm thinking about putting your brother to work.
Well, there you go.
Me, him, and Jacob, man, we could probably really knock this out if we hammer down on it.
Probably so. Speaking of Jacob, I'm gonna go in and fix him something to eat. I'm sure he is.
Yeah, and I am
starving.
I'm starving myself, so I
All
wanna
right.
get on in there and eat. But
I'm glad y'all are home.
guys, if any of y'all are looking for hogs, pigs, or maybe even the occasional rough cut lumber, please, if you're anywhere in the area, check out Rocky Ridge Farm down in Thomasville, North Carolina.
I'll link their Facebook page. Mostly they do business through Facebook, and it's Rocky Ridge Heritage Hogs, and I'll link them in the description and in the comments.
Like I mentioned earlier, this is where we get our pigs from.
And have for years.
We've became really good friends over the years, and you don't find much better people to deal with when it comes to getting pigs. And you don't find many better people to get lumber from either.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you something. Me and Daddy. So, like I said, you know, there's a lot that's not here that we got to go back and get. I told Daddy I don't think I've cut this much lumber on my sawmill since I owned it. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, we rolled out some. Well, I think they sawed. Like I said, I think they got started this morning about 7:30, and we got done about 4:30 to 5. And I'm telling you, we flat out rolled some lumber out of there today.
That's awesome.
I don't know how many logs we went through, but some of the first ones he had was monstrous. They was big logs.
Wow. Well,
but anyways,
let's go eat and call it. I know you're tired.
Yeah, I got to get this stuff unstrapped before I come in. But yeah, anyways,
I'm gonna go fix little man something to eat.
All right.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's gonna about wrap up today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm glad they're back home. I missed them today.
I'm glad I'm back home too.
And till we see y'all in the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.